Welcome to Momentum's virtual training series, where we invite expert facilitators to share their knowledge on topics that advance women in leadership.
I want to give a big shout out to our mentor of the month, Miss Deborah Grimes. Thank you, Deborah, for everything that you do, all the women that you've been mentoring, and how you have supported Momentum leaders. I also want to thank our sponsors and how they make this such a amazing opportunity for everyone and a free opportunity. Thank you for your help and your support. And if you're looking for a mentor and you want to be a mentor, reach out to us. We have got an amazing program here with mentors, and you're going to love it. So I'm about to turn everything over here to Miss Christina Martin. Christina, thank you for being here with us. I love your beautiful smile. Christine has been doing amazing things. She is not just a business coach and a life coach. She has been doing she's an author right now. She's got a book she's going to be letting us know about today. So I'm so proud for you. That is a lot of work, and we appreciate everything that you've been doing with that. She has her own organization. Can I call it organization business, where she does coaching and speaking. She helps do the training and facilitating with companies and organizations, individuals, helping them to be the best that they can be. And don't want to waste any of her time. I would love to just turn all of it over to you right now, Christina. Thank you for being here with us today.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for the invite. I'm going to quickly share my screen so we can hop to it, because I will be changing lives in the next 60 minutes. So I hope y'all are ready. All right.
Absolutely.
Can you see my screen? Very good. All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Christina Martin. I am a certified coach and training facilitator and the very proud owner of Christina Coaches. I should also say that now I'm an author as well. And today I am honored to be here as what I like to call a professional game changer, which means each and every day that I wake up, I have the privilege of living out my wildest dreams, of helping organizations, leaders, and their team members to reimagine what is possible. So a quick housekeeping item, the lovely team at Momentum will be providing a link in the chat to a training debrief that I have put together that contains all of this information. Thank you, Lindsay. I want you to feel free to be fully present with me in the moment. I don't want you to feel like you have to take notes or take pictures of all the slides. Everything I'm going to say is included in that link, so make sure that you click on it. The most important thing that I get to do for a living is to always, always, always address the elephants in the room, because that, my friends, is where growth resides. In the things that we like to sweep into the corners and hide underneath the rugs and cross our fingers and hope they disappear and never show back up. So I want you to know, especially for what I'm covering today, the elephant is here and he says hello. Our topic for today is how to get out of your own way. Now, before I dive into content, I want to kick things off with a brief story time. So I am currently working with the senior leader who by all accounts is brilliant. She is well respected, and she is someone that everybody knows we can rely on her. She has reached a point in her life where she wants more. She wants more of her dreams and her goals taking center stage. But she shared with me, every time she's tried to move in that direction on her own, she's ended up saying the same thing. I don't have time for this right now. And honestly, it sounded true, because her calendar slammed. She's always in back-to-back meetings. There's constant pressure and people pulling on her all the time. So she did what a lot of high performers do when they are ready for real change. She invested in getting the right support. That's where I come in. Now, when we started working together and I started to help her to peel things back, that is when the truth came out. Time was not her only enemy. She was also battling the fact that she did not fully trust herself at the next level. She was afraid of getting it wrong. She was, like so many of us, worried about what other people would think. And her goals, well, they were just vague enough that she didn't have to fully commit to anything. So I don't have time wasn't the complete truth, but what it ended up being was protection from the life that she said she wanted. And everything started to shift for her the moment that she could see this. Because when you can clearly understand and see for yourself what is really in your way, that's when we can do something about it. So here's what I have learned over the years working with amazing women and men just like her. Time itself is almost never the sole problem. Usually, underneath, it's the story that you're telling yourself about your time or the confidence that you have not fully claimed. It could be the fear that you haven't named yet, or the goals that you have kept just safe enough so that you don't actually have to be tested. So, today, in How to Get Out of Your Own Way, the content is not about you judging yourself. Please do not weaponize anything that you learn about yourself today. It is about getting clear, really clear on where you might be standing in your own way and what it is actually going to take for you to move. So, we're going to focus on what I have found to be the 4 most common obstacles that stand in the way of the life that we want. They are usually time, confidence, fear, and the mistakes that we make when we are goal setting. So let's start with time. What I find often with my clients is that they don't actually have a time problem, they have a permission problem. Okay. Here's what I want to know from you in the chat. Who here struggles with finding time for what's important to you? If it's you, I want you to just type me. If it's not you, I want you to say in the chat, not me. Who here struggles with finding time for the things that they say are important to them? Tell me in the chat. All right. Oh, there are so many messages. What an amazing chat y'all have. There are 10,000 people in here.
There are, and I appreciate everybody being so honest. Thank you.
Oh, I see a lot of me's. Oh, there's one not me. All right, Miss Frazier, I see you. Okay. A lot more me's. Miss Cable. Miss Doss, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Miss Pettyway. Okay, there's a couple not me's. Miss Hicks. Miss Hart. Okay, Miss Lawrence. Now, for everyone who said me, I want you to know you are not alone. For the 4 women, and I'm not sure if I saw a gentleman in there, but for the 4 women who said not me, I want you to know the rest of us are so happy for you. We're not jealous at all. Your lives are great. That's awesome. All right. So let's talk about the 3 biggest mistakes when it comes to time. Number 1, we misunderstand time. Time is not neutral in nature. Time reflects your priorities, your power, and your identity. If everything is important, nothing gets protected. So as a leader, we don't need to be finding time for what we want. You need to be allocating that time intentionally. Number 2, we disrespect time. We overgive it. We are over accommodating. We are the go-to person for everyone else. And some of us are saying yes to not only protect our reputations, but to continue to appear to be polite. You are leaking time trying to be who everyone else needs you to be. Number 3, we lie about time. I don't have time, okay? Which usually equals some type of avoidance or misalignment potentially. What this really means for some of us is I don't want to, or I'm afraid of this thing, or if you're like me, it means I haven't truly decided that this matters yet. So here are a few things that can help you with these mistakes. The first thing, and one of the most important ones I'm going to cover today, is the power of the pause. Okay. Now, usually when people come to us to ask for things, in most cases, we almost already know immediately if we want to do it or not. But instead of pausing, we allow the pressure of the moment to decide for us. I need you to hear me when I say this. Stop before you say yes. I want you to use the power of the pause. Every time you say yes to something without pausing to actually consider it, we are giving away a little piece of our life, a little piece of our time that should be meant to reflect your power, your values, and what is actually important to you. So the next time someone comes to you to ask for something, pause. And I want you to give them a response like this. Let me go back to my office and check my planner, and I'll shoot you an email and let you know if I can. I don't care if you don't have a planner. Tell them you do. Okay. Remove yourself from the situation so that you can take a break and you can stop and think, can I do this? Or say, I have some competing priorities this week. Let me take a look at them. And then I'm going to let you know what I might be available to help out with. Then I want you to get the hell out of Dodge. Okay. We're gone. I want you to use that break to determine if this is something that you can do, if it's something that you have the capacity to do, or more importantly, if you even want to. Whenever someone tells me they have a hard time saying no and protecting their time, I ask them a couple of questions. I always start with, do other people tell you no? The answer is always yes. Then I ask them, is it the end of the world? Do you stop being their friends? Do you quit your job every time a coworker says they cannot help you? Do you leave your family behind and go live in a hotel? The answer is always no. Then I ask them, is it okay for other people to tell you that they cannot do something? The answer is always yes. My response to that is, why isn't it okay for you? So before we agree to things, we need to be asking ourselves these questions. Is it aligned with what I want to create? Will saying yes here reinforce my priorities or someone else's? And most importantly, do I want to? Then I want you to make a decision from a place of power, not from regret. Remember that no but is always an option. I'm not going to be able to make it to help you move this weekend, because who wants to help somebody move? Don't say that part though. But I can absolutely come this weekend, next weekend, and help you unpack and get settled in. Don't be afraid to tell people no, but I am willing to do X, Y, Z. Okay? Protect your time. Number 2, when you find yourself struggling to find the time for the things that you want to, to do and to pursue, it's time to look into, where is your time going? If your calendar is supposed to reflect your identity and your priorities, I want you to think about, in this moment, what does your calendar say about you right now? Because I can tell you what mine says. I looked at my calendar last night and it says, girl, you do not care about yourself and you were trying to work yourself into the ground. And I was like, oh, okay, I am booked and busy, but I actually need to schedule in some more time for rest and self-care. And I literally thought that last night. I want you to ask yourself, who benefits from how you currently spend your time? Who benefits from this the most? What are you over functioning in? So where are you doing more than your fair share, especially the things that other adults are capable of doing for themselves? And what are you under investing in when it comes to what is important for you? After you answer these questions, if you find yourself wanting to go a little bit deeper, consider doing a time audit for yourself. Track one normal week to help you expose the leaks. Just write down how you actually spent your time over the week. We're not looking to fix it yet. Awareness comes before control. So we have to know, where are the leaks happening? Next up, protect your peak energy. Your calendar should reflect when you are most valuable to yourself, not just when you are most available. Okay. So I want you to identify your power hours. Notice when your focus is naturally sharp, like when you're excited to do work and when you're giving your best. I want you to hold that window as sacred for yourself. Now, you can't do that every day. Maybe you can't even do it every week. Maybe it's once every other week or once a month. But when it comes to what you want, I want you to put your high stake work in that slot. Schedule your thinking, your creating, your deciding, and your problem solving during your peak energy. Your admin work and your emails should get whatever energy you have left, not the other way around. When you're in your power hours and you've got your peak energy, you should be defending this time like an appointment with your future. So if you got some strategy work to do on a goal for yourself or for your career, and it's what's most important for you, we are not going to leave that for a 4 p.m. slot when your brain is mush. Your emails can be done at 4 with the mush brain. Okay. We're going to do that first thing in the morning when we're fresh. For a lot of us, we are not failing at time management. The problem is we're planning like nothing will go wrong. Like we're not burning candles at both ends, or we're not acting like robots that, need to be rebooted, right? When we constantly give time and energy away, you need a recovery system, not just so you feel better, but so that you can reclaim yourself for yourself. Build recovery into the day before you need it. So we should be scheduling short, intentional resets throughout the day. Take a short walk. Do some deep breathing exercises at your desk. Disconnect after meetings. I do this all the time. Journal for 5 minutes. Go have a short conversation with a coworker who makes you laugh. Stretch. Sit in silence at your desk for a minute. Make sure you hydrate. The same way that you schedule meetings, we should be setting these short, intentional resets, because maintenance prevents breakdowns and burnout. If your calendar does not reflect the life you say you want, that is the real problem. And that's where we need to put our work and effort. So I'm going to give you a homework assignment. Again, do not worry about taking notes and writing this down and taking pictures. All of this is included in the document that is linked in the chat that Lindsay's putting down for us. Everything is in there. Here's your homework when it comes to time. Who do you have to stop being to take control of your time? Or who do I have to improve on being less of? Is it the fixer, the always available leader, the one who never drops the ball? Once we have that answer, we can determine our steps forward. That might mean you need to delegate more. It could potentially mean that I need to be empowering other people to step up and take on more and rely on me less. Or I might need to become the person who is more comfortable saying no. All right. Next up, we're going to talk about confidence. Here's what I want you to tell me in the chat. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you actually trust yourself to follow through on the things that are important to you when it matters? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you actually trust yourself to follow through on the things that are important to you when it matters? 1 being not at all. There's no trust there. 10 being there's nobody better than me. Tell me in the chat. Let me pull the chat up. I'm looking. There we go. Okay. 6, 7s, 9s. I see a 9. Okay, Kara, right? I see you, girl. Latoya Bishop. I see a lot of 8s. Bridget, good job. Joey coming in at a 9. Oh, Stephanie, such a great point. 3 when it matters to me. 9 when it matters to someone else. So
we were just talking about that. I think we all can relate to that, Stephanie. Yes.
Absolutely.
Especially if you have children, spouses, parents that you got to be responsible for. And that's not even the workload. That's just in your own personal life.
Correct. All right. I see an 8. Bria says an 8. I see some 9s. Very good. All right. The stuff says a 7. Very good. Thank you guys for answering so quick. You guys are great. All right. Here we go. Not long ago, I was working with a leader who everyone looks at and thinks that she has it all together, because she actually does. She's really amazing. But behind the scenes for her, every decision that she makes feels like a risk. Every room she walked into felt like a test. And I remember one day during a session, her telling me, I just need more confidence. To which I replied, honey, you don't lack confidence in this moment. What you're lacking is proof. Because confidence isn't something that we are waiting for. It is something you build evidence for. And the problem, her inner critic was louder than her track record. This is my wheelhouse. I am a confidence and mindset coach, and I specialize in helping people to deal with that voice, the inner critic that questions everything. And honestly, this work is so personal to me. And to the people on this call who know me or who have worked with me, I know that you guys know that. Learning how to build a healthier relationship with that voice has changed everything for me in my life. And that's actually why I wrote my first book. It is called The Whispers Within: How to Get Your Inner Critic to Shut the Hell Up, or at least pipe down. Because let's be real, that voice is not going anywhere, but you can absolutely take your power back. So that book is all about my journey to creating a healthier relationship with myself and my inner critic, whose name is Sarah Grace. She's also my co-author in the book. When I tell you I have lived this, I have tested it, and I have helped others to do the same. It does not matter what you want. Your mindset determines what you believe is possible, but your confidence is going to determine what you are actually willing to do about it. And most of us are not stuck because we don't know what to do. We're stuck because we don't trust ourselves enough to do it. So what should we do about it? First up, we're going to start by controlling the narrative, or your inner critic will do it for you. If you don't question your thoughts, you're going to end up obeying them. Your inner critic is like a toxic, overprotective guide. It's always trying to save you from something in its own unhealthy way. Take a moment to pause, and I want you to think, what is my brain actually trying to get me to start or to stop doing? Underneath all of this toxic messaging, what is the real concern? So when I get ready to go into a speaking event and my inner critic says to me, no one's going to like this, this is not good, you're not good enough, what is the real concern? When I stop to think about it, what she's really saying is, are we ready? Are we prepared? Now, why can't she just talk to me like that? Girl, because I don't like it the nice way. Okay. That toxic stuff, it just hits a little bit harder and stops me in my tracks. And that's what she's trying to do. So I want you to give yourself proof. I personally keep what I call a proof list. It is a running Word document where I keep up with my wins, the rooms I've walked into, the hard conversations I've had, the risk I've taken, my accomplishments for moments just like that. So when my inner critic says I can't, I am ready with physical proof that I can. I want you to replace your limiting beliefs and language. So instead of saying, I'm not ready, I want you saying, I am learning in real time in this moment, and that's okay. We need to remember that your inner critic's job is not to promote you and to ensure that you reach the next level. No, it is to protect you. And for your inner critic, protecting you means keeping you small. It means keeping you mediocre. It means keeping you right where you are. Next up, we've got to work on stopping leaking our confidence. Your confidence doesn't disappear. It leaks through behaviors that we normalize. First up, over-explaining. I taught a class on this the other day, and I was asking the students there, how many of you are serial over-explainers? So many hands went up. Here's what we're going to work on. You're going to say it once, then you're going to stop. You're going to let your message land. When we over-explain and begin to ramble on and on and on, what we are saying to everyone in the room and to ourselves is, I don't trust me in this moment. Some of us are second-guessing decisions out loud. Decide privately and then communicate it clearly to your audience. Or we are seeking unnecessary validation. I want you to trust your judgment first. Ask for input when you need it. Some of us are backtracking after we've made the call because we're unsure about our right to make the decision or what it looks like. Own your decision and move forward. And next, I want you to stop apologizing for everything. I was in a class the other day and one of the attendees was asking questions. I mean, really good questions, and no one else was talking. And they kept saying, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm asking. I'm so sorry. Don't be sorry. You're not sorry, right? We want to save our apologies for things that actually matter. Next up, confidence loves preparation. But the problem is, most of us are relying on hope to get through different situations. When it is time for you to prepare for key conversations, whether these are exciting conversations to promote yourself or your business, whether these are difficult conversations that are meant for growth to move you forward, Do not wing it. We will not be winging anything that matters to us. Okay. We're going to go in prepared. Then I want you to define what success looks like for you before you ever walk into the situation. That's important. Create micro checklist. So break your projects, your presentations, or your decisions into prep steps so that you can cross them off the list. And this is going to build visible proof that you are ready in this moment. I want you to practice under pressure. Simulate tough questions, interruptions, or deadlines. Preparation under realistic conditions makes real life confidence automatic, which is what we want. I want you to do the work before you show up. Research whatever it is. I want you to rehearse, and I want you to rehearse again. The deeper you prep, the smaller the gap between fear and your actual performance. Okay? No winging it. Here is your homework. I want you to think about this. And again, this is contained in the document link that's in the chat. Where are you waiting to feel confident before you take action? I want you to think about this for homework. Where am I waiting to feel confident before I take action? Then the next thing I want you to consider is, how much is this delay costing me? Is it costing me an increase in salary? Is it costing me opportunities, visibility, exposure, relationships? Okay. Once we have determined that for ourselves, I then want you to move on that in the next 24 hours without feeling ready. That sounds scary. So I'm going to tell you how to do it. Don't wait to feel confident. I want you to act your way into it. I want you to pick one small, maybe even slightly uncomfortable action and do it before your brain has time to negotiate with you. You don't need more confidence. You need receipts. I want you to go create them. Okay. I'm going to pause right here because I can feel the life-changing energy in the room. Okay. I want to do a quick pulse check. I'm just going to do a one-word check-in in the chat. One-word check-in. Tell me how you're feeling right now. Are we excited? Are we pumped up? Are we like, girl, this is too much? How are we feeling? I see good, hopeful, inspired, nervous. Oh, Kimberly, I got you, girl. Energized, nervous, empowered, good, ready, hopeful, anxious. I got you. Great, encouraged, ready, expectant, even more confident, validated, enlightened. You better be enlightened, Miss Knight. Okay. Need to prepare more, but confident, challenged, encouraged. All right, Miss Marks, thank you. Excited. Jessica says excited. I love that. Reminded this matters. Kelly, I see you. Challenged, robust, empowered. Ooh, I got some great words. Thank you, Rhonda. Empowered. I love it. Challenged, Miss Gray. Inspired and refreshed, Miss Duff. All right. Now I'm going to move us into one of my favorite topics. Y'all ready? It's fear. Most of us are not blocked by fear. The issue is we are actually being led by it. Okay. So here's what I need us to know. We're going to name it or it's going to own us. So we're going to name it bluntly. I want you, if there's something that you're afraid of when it comes to your dreams or your goals or your career or new relationships or setting and maintaining boundaries, I want you to write down the absolute worst thing that could happen if you take action. Seeing it on paper neutralizes the unknown for you. Then we're going to plan for it. For each worst outcome, right, you are going to list 1 to 2 recovery moves. Small steps you could take to either recover from this or to adapt to it. Knowing there's a path forward for yourself removes paralysis. Then you are going to compare the cost of inaction. This is important. What happens if you do nothing? If I let fear decide for me? If I don't take this chance? If I don't speak up? If I don't ask for this promotion? Often the real cost of avoidance is worse than the outcome that you fear. I want you to think about this. Are you truly afraid of the outcome, or are you afraid that you cannot handle it? Are you afraid of the outcome? Are you simply afraid, I don't think that I can handle it? Okay. So first, We're going to make a decision from power and not panic. How do we do that? I want you to list your strengths against the fear. What do you have in your back pocket? What is in your toolbox? I want you to write down your skills, your education, your experience, your resources. Most important, ladies and gentlemen, your network. I will share with you one of the rules I live by. The quickest solution to any problem for me begins with who I know. You already have a lot of things at your disposal to help you handle this fear and to overcome it. Once we list out our strengths, what am I bringing to the table? I want you to identify the real gaps for you, pinpoint what is actually missing, not my imagined weaknesses, the actual gaps. I don't have enough money for the budget. I don't have the right resources. I don't have the right training. Then you are going to create a system, or you are going to create a partnership to help you. Okay. For those of us who, let's say, I'm afraid of, literally yesterday, I was at a really big place doing some really awesome things. And the opportunity to meet someone came up. Someone said, oh, you should go meet someone. I don't know who this person is. I also don't know where they're located. I started with who I knew. I asked the person, is it possible for you to give me an introduction? And they were like, yep, I can walk you over there right now. Ugh, nerves through the roof. But that partnership helped me in that moment. Decide your next move based on the leverage you have. Focus on the areas where your abilities are going to give you the biggest advantage to overcome the fear and use the leverage to move forward. This next one is super important. I need you to shrink the move and not the vision. Fear does not mean stop. I tell my clients this all the time. Fear doesn't have to be a stop sign, depending on what it is, but it should be data for you. So if it doesn't mean stop and I'm still afraid, what does it mean? It could mean that the step is too big. You don't need less fear. You need a smaller first step. Momentum builds confidence faster than thinking ever will. So here's what I want you to do. This is non-negotiable. You will keep the vision big. Okay. We're not going to shrink the goal so that we feel safer. That's how we end up getting stuck for years and not accomplishing the things that are important to us. Instead, we are going to shrink the entry point to the goal. Okay. Not the goal, just the entry point. This is where most people mess up. They try to jump too far too fast. So let me give you an example. The goal is to launch the program. I will be launching the program. Okay. We're going to keep it big. The entry point needs to be much smaller. So I begin. So all I need to do is outline 3 bullet points. The goal was to write a book. That's a huge goal. If I'm looking at the whole thing, I'll never start. What I actually need to do is just sit down and write an outline. What should go in the book? Maybe you need to have a big conversation. Keep the goal, shrink the entry point. I just need to schedule the conversation now. If your goal is, I want to be more visible at work, or I want to be more visible on social media, I want to get out there, keep the goal, shrink the entry point. I'm just going to post one thought. I'm just going to say one meaningful thing in this meeting. Okay. I want you to move before you feel ready. Identify the smallest step that you can execute. I want you to do it within 24 hours. Do not negotiate with yourself. Then I want you to stack momentum, not perfection. You do not need a perfect plan. You just need proof that you will move. Give yourself the proof. Then track your completed actions, right? Build a momentum streak. I want you to celebrate movement, not perfection, not mastery of this thing. I want you to celebrate. I needed to have a conversation, and I got on that person's calendar and scheduled a meeting. Okay. Winning is not the goal when it comes to fear. Movement is. Winning comes later. For now, when you're afraid to tackle something, to try something, your main goal is to simply move through the fear. So, what is your homework when it comes to fear? This is what I want you to ask yourself. This is a really great question that I posted recently on my social media for my followers. Is the life you're living right now a result of your choices, or your fears? Is the life you're living right now a result of your choices or your fears? Here's the tip. Once you see where fear is driving, we're not trying to fix everything. I just want you to take one small action in the direction that your fear has you avoiding. Okay? Just one small step in that direction. Fear is not your problem, because it's natural. It's okay. Your response to it is. Your delay because of it, your hesitation is the issue. You can either let it stop you, or you can let it shape your next move forward. There's something I want you to keep in mind. Last thing I want to say about fear. Your brain is incredible at predicting problems, challenges, and fears. It is terrible at predicting your ability to handle them. It will not use real proof and evidence of previous experiences and all the things that you bring to the table to show you that you can. It would be happier to tell you that you cannot, okay? Help your brain out and give it proof that you are more than capable of handling whatever this fear is that's standing in your way. Next up is goal setting. If your goal setting process is broken, your results will be too. It's a given. So when it comes to goal setting, and I have this dream that I want to work on, what should I do? I want you to tell one honest person that you trust. Let me say this. When I say an honest person, I do not mean cruel. When I say honest, I do not mean an op, and I do not mean a frenemy. I mean a friend who cares about you and who loves you. Someone who will tell you the truth. Somebody who's not only going to clap for you, they're also going to call you out. I want you to choose a person who will hold you accountable and who will challenge your excuses and cheer you on. Let's just say you don't have anybody like that in your circle right now. You're going to be that for yourself. I want you to schedule text messages to yourself at certain intervals and milestones to check in and say, hey girl, love you. Did you do this? I want you to schedule emails to yourself then asking yourself, is this done? When it is, then I can do whatever that is. When we're talking to these trusted partners and friends, share your goal with clarity. You need to be specific about what you want to achieve and by when. Tell them exactly what to hold you accountable to. It's really important. I want you to set a check-in rhythm with them. Decide how and when you're going to update them. Every week, bi-weekly, only after milestones, whatever it is. Knowing somebody is watching you increases your commitment. You need to set a specific check-in date, not a, hey girl, we'll catch up next month. No, hey girl, we're going to catch up on April 16th at 2 p.m. for 15 minutes. I'll see you on Zoom or I'll give you a call. Support feels good, and that's exactly what we need. But accountability is what is going to create the results that you're looking for the life that you say you want. Next up, I want you to anchor your goals to your identity. I just taught a neuroscience class to a group of youth leaders, and I was telling them how to hack their brain for success. This was one of the things that I taught them, was to anchor your goals to your identity. So for 2026, I made a change in my goal setting and have only done identity-based goals for this year. Let me tell you something. Mama is on point. I'm doing an amazing job. I have achieved so much. It really has changed things for me. One of the things I want you to do is to phrase your goals as becoming statements. Instead of, I want to run 3 times a week, I'm going to say, I'm someone who moves my body regularly. Identity drives behavior automatically. So you ever wanted to read more books or work out or go to networking events and it was a goal you set for yourself and you could not reach it? Your brain, in a lot of these instances, is actually, for lack of a better term, working against you because there's no proof of you having done this thing before. If you simply start saying, I am someone who goes to networking events, or I am someone who works out, or I'm someone who asks for what she wants, and you continue to say that over and over again, your brain will more quickly allow you to create the neural pathways to create the habit that you want to do. If you link it to your identity, it is easier to create the habit and to do it successfully and consistently. Link your actions to your self-image daily. Before taking any step, I want you to ask yourself, does this reinforce who I am becoming? If the answer is yes, do it. If the answer is no, no, thank you. We're going to delegate that. We're going to give it to somebody else. And I want you to track alignment, not just your outcomes. Measure consistency with your identity, not just your results. Doing what aligns makes habits stick long term. Align it to your identity. All right, next up, this one is important. I need you to decide in advance who you're going to be when it gets hard. As you go after these dreams or these goals, whatever they are, I have a friend who has an amazing quote, and he says to me all the time, if you wait and don't want to, he ain't coming. Okay. You need to get up and take action on what it is you say you want. Even on those days where momentum is nowhere, not momentum, but motivation is nowhere to be found. If you wait and don't want to, he ain't coming. So goals are easy when you feel motivated. It's great. How often does that happen? Is that every day? If not, the real question is, who am I when I don't want to? So I need you to define for yourself your hard day standard. Even on my worst day, I will still, and finish the statement. Something I work with my clients on all the time is removing the all or nothing mindset. If I'm going to be somebody who works out, I'm going to work out every day. And if I don't work out every day, then everything's just, it's gone haywire and I might as well forget it. Nope, 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 nope. Here's what I want you to do. These are some examples of what this could look like in your life. Instead of doing that full workout, I'm just going to walk for 10 minutes. Okay. You've got a big task and you have to work on this for days and days at a time. Today, I don't have the energy. I don't have the capacity. There's so much more going on. I'm just going to take one small step. Okay. I am on the verge of a breakdown. I don't have the energy or anything to give to stuff. And instead of totally shutting down, I'm just going to show up at 50% today. That's all I can give. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent on your worst days, even if all you're doing is giving the minimum. Okay. This leads perfectly into my favorite thing to teach when it comes to goal setting, especially to adults. I need you to start planning for failure when you set goals. I worked with a client recently. They told me the goal they wanted to achieve. And I said, perfect. What's your plan for failure? And he said to me, I'm not going to fail. I said, I love that. What are you going to do when you do? We still need a plan for what happens when you do. So let's talk about that. I want you to name the most likely slip ups that could happen for you. Nobody knows you better than you do. I want you to identify where you are most likely to miss, where you are most likely to stall or quit. Then I want you to decide what is your comeback move in advance. For each slip up, this doesn't have to be the end. I don't have to throw the goal in the trash can. Define exactly how you will re-engage with the goal. Will I just restart the next day? Will I take a smaller step? Remember, we're not going to shrink the vision or the goal. We're going to shrink the step. Am I going to reach out to somebody for support? We are not going to improvise what to do when emotions are high. Okay. And I want you to normalize the miss, but protect the streak. One miss for you is information. I missed a day of working out. I missed a day of writing my book. Okay, whatever that is. I saw someone and I didn't ask to follow up. I didn't go shake their hand and introduce myself. That is information. That is not failure. Okay. The real rule is that you will never miss twice. Momentum survives honesty. There's a great quote I saw from a guy on social media that says, I can suck, but I can't quit. Okay. I want you thinking about your hard day standard. Okay. Maybe I'm not going to do it full out, but I will give 10 to 25%. So I'm still moving myself closer to the life that I want. What is our homework when it comes to goal setting? Here's what I'm going to leave you with. I want you to pick one current goal or to create one. And then I want you to consider what's the most likely way that you'll fall off for the goal. If I'm going to make a mistake, if I'm going to miss, if I'm going to stall, what does it look like? Now, you're going to decide when that happens, what is my immediate comeback move within 24 hours? Okay. The point here is to plan, to create the plan to help us. So I want you to keep this in mind. You don't need to be perfect. You simply need a plan for when you are not, and a standard for when you don't feel like it. That is life, and that is reality. So I want you guys to consider this as well before I open it up for questions for you guys to talk to me. This is also in the training debrief document, these 3 questions. I want you thinking about this. What can I start doing? What can I stop doing? Or what will I continue to do for myself based on what I've learned today? What will I start? Because it sounds like a great idea and it's something I could do and it would be great. It would move me in the right direction. What can I stop? Because it is no longer serving me. It's moving me further away from where I want to be. What will I continue to do? Because it's already working so well for me. Okay. Based on what I've shared with you today. All right. I'm going to open it up for questions. And I'm going to look at the chat with you, Darla.
All right. So far, everyone has just done nothing but give you praise for this. This has been great. It's been inspiring. It's been a blessing. And I know personally you've jarred a lot of good questions for me in my mind. You've helped me to articulate a lot of things. And one of my questions that I have while we're waiting on anyone else is, how did you get to the point where you can overcome some of the fears that you've had? How did you get to that point, Christina, to where you can say with confidence, I know how this is going to work because I've been through it?
I'm going to tell you, one of the things that I learned, my mother had a wonderful piece of advice that she would give, and I still think about it to this day. She would always say, any lesson worth learning is going to cost you something. Any lesson worth learning is going to cost you something. So I started looking at mistakes and failures as the lesson. That's the payment. I'm going to pay for this up front to fix it on the back end. And so when I make mistakes, when I don't do something well, I don't show up at my best, I'm upset just for a brief moment. And I'm quickly like, that is information. That is data for me to come back and try again. And then I just get back in there as quickly as possible and I try again. And I think for me, that's something that has helped me tremendously to be able to put myself out there to do new things and continue to try, is because mistakes, I won't even call it failure, but mistakes are natural. And if you use those as information, it sets you up for success. I'm already further along than the next person who hasn't even got off the couch yet.
That is true. That is true. One thing that I have learned as an adult, I wished I'd known this earlier, is that failure is not necessarily bad. It is a teaching time, and it depends on your perspective of that, of where you're going to go next. And I love how you have done that in here. You've incorporated in here, okay, what is my comeback plan?
Absolutely. I see a question in the chat, and I want to make sure I capture this before it moves. Miss Jones said, what if you have a fear to approach new people? I just got asked a question very similar to this at AUM yesterday, and I'm going to tell you what I told that student that I talked to. When we're going into networking situations and we're meeting new people, number one, you're going to name the fear, okay? You're going to address for yourself what's the worst thing that's going to happen. They're not going to slap you across the face, and they're not going to bite you, because we're going to get them arrested if they do, okay? But one of the things I do to help me, because even I still get nervous networking and doing things, I let the other person talk first, right? I'll walk up to Darla and say, hi, nice to meet you. And she'll say, Darla, my name's Christina. Darla, what do you do? And I let Darla go first. It gives me time to calm my nerves, to take a couple of deep breaths. It also gives me time to be genuinely curious about the other person so that I can engage in a conversation with them. It's not just, me walking up. Also, preparing. What's your elevator speech? How would you introduce yourself as well? So when they ask the question back, because you've given yourself some time to calm down, now I can say, well, my name's Christina Martin. I'm the owner of Christina Coaches and then we go further into that. Planning will help you. Also feeding off of the other person. Let them go first if you need to. I hope that helps, Ms. Jones.
Will you talk about your book a little bit more? What's the title of it and what can we expect? When can we expect it?
My book is called The Whispers Within: How to Get Your Inner Critic to Shut the Hell Up or at least Pipe Down. And it was written by myself and my inner critic, Sarah Grace. And so many years ago, I went to a women's empowerment event, and one of the things they asked us to do was to name our inner critics. And I did a bunch of research about it in inner critics and imposter syndrome, and it was so amazing. And so naming your inner critic is funny. It's a great thing to do because when I hear her voice come into my head, I'll say to myself, here she goes. And it makes me, giggle a little, but it's also strategic. It's how I separate her voice from my own. And we have had, especially in the last couple of years, as I've created my own business and started doing all of these amazing things. See, she just came in and was like, girl, don't say it's amazing. I started doing all of these amazing things. The relationship between her and I was like, I have to shift something in an effort to be more confident, to step into these rooms and into these roles to help other people. What I have found for myself is hiding from your calling is expensive. And I had to ask myself, what are you willing to pay? Because I can't help people if I'm busy hiding from them. And so that journey of getting myself more comfortable and creating a better relationship with her, because you are not going to get rid of that. So if I know she's not going to go anywhere, how do I create a healthier relationship where I'm able to listen to her, decipher what's actually, important information to know, and still move forward through the fear? So the book is about that journey with her. And also there's exercises in the book that I actually use for myself. There's homework, there's self-reflections, there's affirmations after every chapter to help you create your own journey. And I also teach you how to meet your own inner critic, to give them a name, to personify them, not to give them power, but to help you take your power back. I'm really excited. So the book, I'm hoping, will be out, fingers crossed, for my birthday in May. So if you use that link, you can sign up to be on my email list. I will tell you all about updates, behind the scenes stuff, and give you exclusive information that will help you on your own journey.
Thank you so much. Mariah had a great question. How do you coach or approach others when you see them falling short of a goal that you know they have set without nagging?
When I coach clients, number one, I'm always on board with you. Your best interests are at heart. So it's not my job, like you said, to nag and to get on their nerves, but we do create plans for failure, for the hard days. And so I do bring that up. Okay, this sounds like a hard day. You don't have the energy, you don't have the time. Are you doing the thing that we discussed that you would do on the hard days? One of the other things when my clients bring goals to me, especially ones they are super serious about, a question I have had to ask myself so many times over the years: what are you willing to do to save yourself? And whenever I ask that question, it usually gets people right on up and moving. What are you willing to do to save yourself? And so keeping that in the forefront of your mind and knowing that perfection is not the goal, it's just movement, helps a lot of my clients to keep going even on their worst days. I hope that helps, Ms. Knight.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Ms. Cannon.
Thank you so much, Christina, for being here today. And I, for one, will be getting your book. Thank you. I've learned so much about today. And I'm going to pop my screen share up here for a second. Okay. Because I want to get us. There we go. Thank you again for everybody being here today. For those of you who came in a little bit late, please take a moment to hold your phone up and do the feedback survey. This is really important for everyone here. So before you sign off, please do that. It gives us immediate information so that we can let Christina know what you're thinking and how she can stay on top of things, and that we can too. Make sure I've got that up there. No. And then I also want to thank Deborah Grimes. She is our Mentor of the Month for April. Thank you for everything that you're doing, Deborah. Mwah. Thank you for everything. You've been fantastic. I want to come back to this right now. I want to come back to us. Everyone is saying thank you. This has been incredible, absolutely amazing, great session, just what I needed. Thank you, Christina. You have poured into us. You are phenomenal. We'll definitely have to get you back again. We appreciate everything that you've done for us. So it appears to me everything that you have been teaching us, you're already been living out. And so thank you for that.
And I still am.
I and can't wait to hear more about your book and how that takes off. Thank you, everyone, for being here again with all of us. And I do want to, oh my goodness, I want to do one more thing right here. I was so excited getting to talk to you.
Oh, please follow me on social media too. Thank you, guys.
Yes, we have. So at Momentum, we're going to start adding more virtual trainings. Our next one is going to be April 15th, and it's with Sparity. Sarah K. Wass is on here, so thank you, Sarah, for helping us get all that set up. And then our next one will be May 6th with Ashley Joy Sutton. So please mark these on your calendar, watch our site. We will be posting all these. We're going to start doing more and more of these because we have seen that we have so many amazing women and men who have a lot of information for us that we want to share with all of you and just keep the momentum going, as you have alluded to so many times today, Christina. Thank you for all of that. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We'll see you on the 15th.
Momentum's virtual trainings are made possible with the support of Protective Life, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama, and America's Thrift. Find the full list of sponsors as well as additional resources for women leaders on our website at momentumleaders.org. Thanks for taking the time to invest in you, and remember to like, subscribe, and share our channel. We love reading thoughts and comments, so you can leave those for us here too. You can also connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn by searching at Momentum Leaders.